I'm gonna go on 3. Matter of fact, nah, I'm gonna just go. What's good, y'all? This is should have been Ken. Got Jaylen. Wait, I'm. It's wrong to introduce myself first. That was shady. I got Parish on the mic. Parish. Wait, should we use last names? No, we shouldn't do that. I'm not
It's
gonna.
all good. It's all good. What's good, fam? I'm Parish. Like, of course, you don't know who we are. We just starting this shit. So, anyways, we're here to talk about some of everything we never miss when it comes to a conversation. So, this is going to be definitely a dynamic duo type of thing that y'all going to be getting used to pretty soon. So,
Y'all gonna be
yeah.
looking at Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, kind of, kind of.
Nah. Because who's Will Smith? Like,
Is he canceled now? Did I miss something?
I don't think so. Because another Bad Boys 4 is supposed to be coming out, but.
I saw that. I saw that.
No, we are our own dynamic duo. We are beyond them niggas. So, but much respect to them. You know, like I said, I'm waiting for Bad Boys 4 because I know that shit is gonna be lit. I wonder how it's gonna turn out. But yes, we this is what we are. And hey, people think we brothers. We are not brothers. That's why it's called Should Have Been Ken. So there you go.
There you go.
Uh,
That's a good way to get the title out. But yeah, should have been Ken is a podcast by Parish and Jaylen, and we talk about pretty much everything that's on our minds. Really, it's a place to discuss and really
we like to make
create
it.
an open
Ye-
space for everyone.
Right. We like to make it a safe environment for everybody, because we talk about, everything that's going on today. We talk about relatable events. We sometimes we even talk about our personal life, which can be hilarious at times. So, like I said, please stay tuned in and make sure to describe to this guy. But anyways, yes, make sure to tune in to Jalen. Like I said, he's very intellectual. He's full of words you never heard before. That's another thing. This nigga's a dictionary, and he's a very talented artist as well. So make sure to support this guy, and please, like I said, subscribe to us, and well, subscribe to him. He's the podcast guy. So subscribe to him and tune in. We'll be doing this from time to time, but let's get right into it.
Damn, man. Thanks for the kind words. Thanks for the kind words.
Of course. We should have been Ken. That's my brother.
Should have been Ken. So I guess we'll just start with some little icebreakers. Like what's been up with you though? I guess we can catch up. What's been up with you?
Yeah. Hey man, everything looking good. Like I said, man, this voice acting career is still doing great. Like I said, about to start shooting soon. I got a photo shoot actually this month. Supposed to be I'm supposed to be wearing like, Valentine's Day colors. I guess it's supposed to be like for the season.
Hmm.
And Target is supposed to be getting these pictures. But yeah, doing a little modeling thing for on the side. But yeah, everything is cool. I'm working hard, staying in shape, trying to eat healthy. Like Florida has the worst fucking food that you can ever imagine, but and eggs is like $5 fucking, but but everything's been wonderful, man. I know hey just a disclaimer, whoever's watching, Jalen and I, we get a lot of story time. That's we got to put y'all on the story time,
And
and
look, I'm gonna just put a disclaimer. I will be selling you on this podcast, Paris. Like I am using you 100%. I'm going to have pictures of you shirtless on the thumbnails.
nah, don't be doing like that. And using me as eye candy so everybody can watch this. Nah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
N- no, but yeah, everything is wonderful. I can't complain. Like I said, man, we both breathing. We alive in this crazy ass world, and it's a lot of things that we're aware of that we can, you know, learn to avoid and be aware of as far as our surroundings. So yeah, man, everything is wonderful. How about yourself, Jalen?
Everything's good, man. I currently back at school on campus. Now I got a single, which is nice. I
Okay,
Me and my roommate were cool, but it's nice to have your own space, you know. And
definitely.
now I'm an RA, which is really cool because
Oh, that's
it in addition to like no room cost, it gives me kind of clout when it comes to actually organizing and coordinating events for people to have fun
mm,
with and stuff because we're the campus that I house at isn't the campus I actually go to school at. So we're
Oh,
kind
okay.
of yeah, we're kind of isolated out here. And last semester, we did a couple game nights and stuff, but it was kind of towards the end.
Uh-huh.
And now from the beginning, like I just sent out a thing about a poll, like let me know what you guys are interested in doing, whether it's ping pong tournaments or movie nights or whatever. So it's really cool to kind of be
Right.
able to initiate the stuff. And I could have done that without being an RA, but it
Mm-hmm.
just it just it's nice to be able to have that position.
Right, right. Hey man, listen, at least you keeping them niggas entertained. Like that sounds like some fun. I ain't gonna lie. Like most people homebodies, they just want to stay in their dorm or wherever they at
On
and
God.
just be completely isolated from the world. You know, it's good to socialize and to be honest, I feel like you'll be the catalyst to possibly not making people fucking socially awkward because that's what it's coming to nowadays with all this technology. So
That's what it's
yeah,
already came to, bro.
it's getting worse. The fucking metaverse is finna happen, but well, technically already is happening. But you know, like I said, maybe you'll be the catalyst for that. Kind of give people ideas of what they should actually do to actually socialize with people and actually have that experience. So therefore, people won't be fucking weird when it comes to each other. So yeah, but hey, man, that's dope, man. As long as you having fun with it, bro, that's all that matters. And like I said, I know you've been having a couple females out there, just a little, little like, little talking, little doing a little talking. You know what
I
I'm
don't know, bro. My mom is probably gonna watch this. You kind of putting me on blast. No, I'm just playing. I yeah, that
saying?
evil laugh. No.
Hey, if Jalen's mom, I don't know your name, but if you're watching this, it can get pretty explicit, so I suggest you turn this off.
Now she's gonna stay on purpose. No, but nah, not really. I was actually just thinking that when I on the way here, I was walking. I was so hungry, I had to get food. And on the way here, I'm just thinking,
Gonna be situations where it'll be complicated, to get involved with people. And like I said, in the past, we have our conversations at work. Just keep everything casual. You don't have to necessarily get involved with that one specific person. Like, just kind of
right?
test the waters with people because nowadays you got to get to know people because it's to the point where the human trafficking, they trafficking niggas too. And that's crazy. So
They said, I
yeah,
don't care how firm the cheeks are. We just need cheeks. That's all they said.
basically, and a couple organs. So,
It's
and a
crazy.
couple organs. But yeah, like for real though, yeah, just keep everything casual. Like I said, I feel like people respect you more when you mainly focus on yourself anyway. Don't go chasing no goddamn body, and especially don't simp over nobody either. So, so you definitely, like I said, you're still at a immediate or moderate standpoint in life, like I said. So it's all good. Plus, you're young. Like, how old are you now, Jalen? Like, I forgot.
I'm
Like,
I'm 20.
you're 20. Damn. Yeah.
You feel old now, don't you?
I mean, we only 3 years apart, but damn, I just remember, like, I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, fucking time went fast,
It
bro.
don't
Like,
it don't make
we
no sense. You've known me since I was what 16,
16.
and it's been 4 years already. Shit makes no sense, bro. Shit makes no
That shit
sense.
is out of control. I was 19 when I met you, bro. But hey, man, but like I said, let's give him a brief history of like how we like should have been kin and where that shit came from.
Yeah,
You know?
that's probably a good idea. I was actually thinking about bringing it to that. So, quick
Mm-hmm.
introduction. I might even put this in the beginning. We might do some time what's it called in narrative terms.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, me and Parish are both from upstate New York,
Mm-hmm.
Rochester to be specific, and we worked at a mall during high school, for him college, and
No, yeah.
yeah, you were in college. It was like your first
Uh,
year
Oh
or
yeah,
so.
nah, I just missed the him for him part. I was like, wait, nigga, I was in high school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we worked at a shoe store, shoe department. Shout outs, Christina.
Yep, Christina, if you're watching this, shout out to you. Like I said, we ain't forgot.
I'm gonna send her a link. I'm gonna be like hashtag we ain't forgot or something, and then I'm gonna send her a link. So yeah,
Definitely.
shout outs, Christina, and yeah, from there, I don't even really remember how we got so close, but it was just like us talking at work while we were working,
Hmm.
organizing shoes or helping people. Then one day, you probably just ended up telling me one of your amazing stories that the listeners will surely get accustomed to after a while.
Yes,
And
it was an explicit story, just about my past. So, but anyways, Jaylen and I met Jaylen like I remember the first day I met him, and Jaylen was literally the first youngest person at that job. Like, mind you, shoe department was hiring people at the age of 18 years and up. I don't know how the fuck this nigga got the job,
oh yeah,
but Jaylen was 2 years below the requirement for his age. He was 16 years old. And when he told us, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, since when they start hiring 16-year-olds? And ever since, and because he was hired at that age, it changed everything. We started getting people that was 16, 17, just a lot of young people that was working there. We definitely had a crowd since then.
I was historical. I forgot. I made history for shoe department. I did.
you de- you definitely so if anybody's currently working at shoe department anywhere or shoe show or whatever or shoe carnival wherever and you're at 16 years old, it's because of Jaylen. So so kudos to him, definitely. But anyways, yes, we was I remember like it was yesterday. Jalen and I, we were shifting. I was actually teaching you how to shift because we had got that's you got I think you got hired. Your start date was during inventory or shipment.
Why do you remember this? You're like my grandfather. You just remember everything. Just like these weird specific moments.
I have a memory like an elephant, bro. I remember a lot of shit. That's how I was able to keep up with them stories. But anyway, but yeah, we were shifting, and I believe I was talking with Tommy because it wasn't just you and I, but Tommy was there. Shout out to Tommy. We miss you and we love you too,
I'm
fam.
gonna send him the link too. I'm still in his Discord. He don't know I'm still in there though.
Oh, bet. Well, Tommy, we still love you. We miss you, bro. And like I said, I believe I was talking with Tommy. We was talking about something, but before Jalen, and I became, the most talkative in the store, it was really me and Tommy. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but whatever it was, Jalen was able to click with us just like that because Jalen was the biggest fucking introvert I ever met. He didn't say a word. He didn't say anything, and I'm like, yo, like this kid is quiet, like.
True story. True
And then,
story.
like, because it was crazy because, like, the first time you would speak, your voice was deep as shit. Like, your voice was literally the same when you were 16 years old.
Yep.
And they'd be like, what the fuck? Like, nigga, I didn't even know you could speak. Like, and, like, it's like ever since, like, he was able, like, after a while, he was able to get comfortable with everybody at the job. He was just, mad chill. And he's very comfortable. And I was like, and then what really was the icing on the cake is that is Jalen's reactions to certain shit. He finds everything funny. And we didn't see that coming because Jalen is always quiet. But he finds everything hilarious. He was he'll laugh in front of the customers. Of course he'll laugh in front of us, but he'll definitely laugh in front of the customers so loud as if he's like around family.
Bro, I don't
And
care. If something's funny, it's just funny. It's just facts.
I mean, but hey, man, like I said, you definitely let it out. But I feel what really bonded us, like Jalen and I, was the fact that we literally both had the same hairstyle, but different types of hair. His hair was dreaded, my hair is braided, but it was down, it was long, and we both wore glasses. Um, we both have the same kind of facial hair, but basically every customer that came into that shoe store thought we were brothers. And at first we would be like, no, we're not brothers. And then, the people be like, oh, okay, I thought y'all was the same person for a second.
Yep, every day.
And then, yeah, every single day. And then next thing you know, we just said, fuck it. We just finna go with it. We finna like every time they ask from now on, we're gonna say we're brothers. And Jaylen was suggested that. And I was like, all right, cool.
And
So
everyone believed us too. There was not a single doubter. It was just like, yeah,
I
okay.
on God. On God. So one day, this is if y'all listen to Jaylen's music, you'll be reminded of this. But one day there was this guy, and I think he's with his wife, or buying some shoes, and Jaylen was helping him first, helping him out, look, whatever he needed. And so Jaylen goes to the register and cashes him out. I walked past, and this dude turned his fucking head so fast that he could have broke his neck. And and he was like, "What the fuck?" And Jaylen just starts laughing. And he's wondering what's going on, but then he saw me and it clicked. He was like, "Oh shit!" He thought that was me. He said, "Did I just see you walk past?" And I turned around and I was like, and because I heard him, and I was like, "Oh shit!" He thinks we're brothers. And me and Jaylen was just we looking at each other. It was like, "Yep, yep." Like, we're brothers. We're
Yeah,
brothers.
we're brothers. We're brothers.
He's like, "Bro, I thought you just teleported for a second." I'm like,
No, my favorite one, my favorite one. I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you do though. Is when
"What's up?"
there was a lady. I forgot what she looked like. I think it was probably a white lady, and she
Hmm.
swore that we were brothers. And she was like, "So you two are siblings, right?" And I was like, "Yep, yep, you're right." You're right. And she was like, I knew it. I had a bet. Wait, what's
Yeah,
like? You remember that one?
yeah, I
Like
remember that.
she was determined. She was determined.
Yep, bro. Yep, I remember that shit,
And I
bro.
remember
It
her
happens
walking
so.
out. I remember her walking out thinking, "You dumb." Like
Like, bitch, we not brothers, nigga.
I was just gonna say the shoe department in and of itself, it really made no sense. Like all the jobs I've had after shoe department, none of them have been like my experience working there with you and Christina and everybody else. It really, more than
Right.
anything, it felt like a family. And granted,
Yeah.
the family that existed in that season of our lives, it really felt like a TV show. It really felt like a sitcom.
It
And
definitely should have been a fucking TV show.
we
I'm
we always
a,
say that, like, this the stuff that happens, and we're not even over exaggerating. We're talking about like complete brawls in the food courts, talking girls
fights
coming
in
up.
front of the.
Girls, wait, what
Yes.
was her name with Tommy? Oh my God, we.
Oh.
Wait,
Oh.
I'm about to dox this girl. Hold on. This lady had the hoots for Tommy. She was down in
Oh.
them grits, okay? And I wasn't even there the day that she did this. I just remember hearing the story and laughing about it for like 2 hours straight. I guess
Oh.
Tommy walks
Oh.
in one day, right? And her name was Angelique. I don't care. Y'all can look her up.
Yes.
Y'all can look her up. I don't care. Her name's Angelique or something.
Nigga,
And
it's a million people's name, Angelique.
yeah, I know they're never gonna find the
Right.
specific
Yeah.
one. Tommy
Mm.
walks in. Angelique sees her. She's behind the counter, the kiosk, and Tommy's just doing his thing, minding his own business. Probably waves high or something. Knowing Tommy, probably listening to some anime music or K-pop. I don't know what he's into these days. And Angelique, just something awoke within her. It was just the night of the beast. It was like a
Now
full
the fucking
moon.
demons, bro.
It was demon hour, bro. It was demon hour. In her mind, just Satan had just lit a spark, and she apparently begins violently humping the kiosk, and consequentially moaning due to
What?
this. And I'm
I
just like,
don't.
that's what I remember. That's what I remember. I remember hearing the story straight from Tommy. And this is what he told me. It was Tommy and
Uh,
Christina. just
That
remember.
was that was oh my god. I remember that part, but the motive part is out of control.
I just
Yo,
remember.
yeah, she was bumping her fucking cooter at the end of the counter. And I don't know what it was, but her fucking hormones had to be through the fucking roof for that to happen in public.
It's
Because
beyond me.
imagine if the customer saw her do that.
Beyond me.
So, oh my God. But when she saw Tommy, bruh, seeing that nigga must have sent a tingling sensation throughout her entire body for her to do that. Because, bruh, I remember hearing about that shit. Tommy had me, I fell the fuck out when I heard that shit. We had to wipe down the counter because of that shit.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. She didn't wipe it down herself.
Bruh, that shit's out of control. Like, you know how freaky you gotta be to bump that shit? Cause she was tall too. She was
She
tall.
was a tall,
So
yeah. She was a tall, big lady.
yeah, she was
Yes.
at least 5'11". She was tall. And those counters was at least waist like met up with her waist. So she ain't have to do much. But oh my fucking god, yes. Yeah, Tommy was low key getting hoes too. I ain't gonna lie. Like for real, for real. But
Tommy,
like I said,
especially after he started working out, Tommy had bags, but he just chose not to spend. You know.
he, oh yeah, yeah, Tommy, yeah, he like I said, Tommy can be very inspirational when it comes to money. Like I said, he'll save that motherfucker
No,
for
I'm
the rest
I'm
of his
talking
day.
about with women, Parish. What
I thought you was missed that too. That's what I was referring to.
No,
I'm
that's why
talking
I
about no,
said
because he really doesn't spend shit as far as his money. When you said a bag, he don't spend nothing.
no. I thought I
So
was referring to like girls in a bag. Yeah, he had
now
options.
he fumbles the bag. He fumbles the bag. I'm sorry, Tommy, but you know, and I know, and Jaylen knows that's many occasions you have fumbled the bag,
He about
but
to
it's
he about to
okay.
type in the comments. He about to be like, "Bro, hold on. Let me get the story straight."
He fumbled the bag sometimes because like Tommy and I would talk. You was there. Shit. He was like dead ass talk to me like about anything. And that's the type of like chemistry that we all had at that job. You know, we could talk to each other about anything. And but yes, yeah, Tommy was risen without even knowing it. He didn't have to do anything. And you know, like I said, so was Jaylen. It was just Jaylen had it was just complicated because I don't know. It's like they never came back. Like for some odd reason. Like you see that one person at the mall, it's like you never see him again.
Oh
And it was
yeah, no,
baffling.
Grease Ridge Mall. It was like the door to Narnia. It was like if you saw one person one day and the next day they're in Indonesia, and you just have to ask yourself, well, what do I do now? And my
Um,
answer was keep it moving, keep it moving.
yeah. Oh God, like I said, I don't think it's been a time where because we worked at shoe department for a while. We never saw the same people. We never saw the same people. Like it may be like a handful of people that'll show up like every weekend or so. But every time I turn around, it was different people in that store. But nah, man, shoe department was definitely lit because, like I said, Grease Ridge Mall, everybody went to that mall because not to mention that was the only fucking mall in Rochester that was up and running besides Eastview, which is all the way in Victor.
Well, there was also Henrietta, but Henrietta Mall was not.
That was shit was
Yeah,
shutting down.
it was shutting down.
Yes, it was a shit out there when we was working.
Well, like, no, I know the mall sucked, but I didn't know it was literally shutting down. I didn't.
But the thing is, that mall wasn't bad, like at all. Like to be honest, I like Marketplace Mall more than I like Grease Ridge. It's just the food court there was just fucking trash. That was all. But as far as the rest of the mall, it was lit.
Mm.
But yeah, Marketplace Mall, yeah, when that shit was going downhill for a while. It just got worse when the pandemic hit. But yeah, like I said, yeah, Grease Ridge Mall was the spot because it's like it's Greece, everybody goes to Greece. So yeah, bro. But so Jaylen just be seeing all these baddies, and like I said, he even interacted with him. It's like he never sees him again. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Nah, I'm not. I'm
It,
not even gonna lie. You're giving me too much credit because back in the day, I didn't even know how to spell out the word girl, let alone talk to one. You know, we
you
had.
no, I'm saying like no, I'm not saying like you was out here bagging, like like on some crazy shit, on some sex alien shit. Nah,
That's
that's
another
another story.
topic. We ain't even there yet. Jeez,
We ain't there
this is
yet.
slow paced.
But yeah, but like I said, like bro, like you would literally like you're the type of person, you're very blunt. You're gonna express yourself, but like I said, you weren't as aggressive as speaking with them. Like you would just be like, bro, like she is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, y'all vibe a little because I be peeping. I can see, nigga, like y'all be vibing a little, but it's like you never see that person again. So that's the only thing. But yeah, but me on the other hand, well, it wasn't the customers. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't the customers. It was just outside stuff. But as far as like the customers interacting with me, Jaylen would always be there to witness me absolutely doing my fucking job, and then somebody will come and just hit on me out of nowhere. We be casually talk to each other like, "Hey, can y'all help us real quick?" Like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, sure. Like, no, of course. Because we was always. I don't know. I don't know if it was just that. I don't know if Christina knew, but we were always in the women's section. Like, we were always in the
Yeah,
women's section.
well, primarily, but I remember some days Lynn would be managing, and she would like try and. You remember when everybody, some people were trying to give us sections, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
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 shit didn't
always
vibe.
fell through. Yeah, it never really worked because we were always just. It was like
To be honest, we migrated. We went wherever the fuck like the energy told us to go.
pretty
Like plus,
much.
and not to mention like customers needed help, so we couldn't just have one specific session. I mean, not session section. We couldn't have one specific section because it was only a handful of us on one day, and everybody crowds the women's section more than they crowd the men's section. It was always women's and kids.
Mm.
So that's why the men's section, it'd only be one person over there, but we always made our way in one group. We'll just hop like as a group. We'll just go from one section. We'll go from women's. We'll go to kids or clearance. We go to men's. Back to women's. Like we were just everywhere. But but like during closing time, that's when things really got lit. Because that's like our time. But
Facts. I remember that day. Kayla had Tommy twerking right before close.
oh my fucking god! Shout out to Kayla.
Shout outs Kayla. Shout outs Kayla.
Shout out
And
to Kayla.
what
Yeah.
else? Closing was something else.
Closer was something else, bro. Shout out to Kamal too. Shout out to everybody that
Damn,
worked there.
Kamal. You remember Natalie? I remember Natalie. Kamal.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're still together because they were the cutest couple. They really were.
Honestly, they were so dope. I hope. I hope so. Yeah. Shout out to. Listen. Let me see how many people I can name. Shout out to. Shit. I'm about to name some niggas before you start working there.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to Julian. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to
Uh,
Eric. Shout out to
who?
Earl. Eric. I don't think he was there when Eric was working, but Eric, Earl,
Tyler and Guy. Tyler and Guy.
Tyler and Guy. Yes, sir. Big Dirty himself. Tyler. Yes.
Big Dirty. Big Dirty.
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody that worked there. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to um what's that other kid name? Yo, was mad niggas that was in and out of that place. That's one thing. But shout out to Asia. Shout out to VJ. Shout out to Thomas. I don't know if you remember
Yo,
Thomas.
Thomas, I do remember Thomas. I
Shout
remember Thomas too because when
mm-hmm.
my childhood friend, his dad walked in and
Uh-huh.
his dad is like a really attractive guy, I guess. And you
Oh,
know,
Thomas said something.
yeah, Thomas was like, "How do you know this? How do you know him? Is he single?" I'm like, "No, bro. He's like he's like my fourth dad." But
I
thanks.
mi- I definitely miss Thomas. That's my guy. That's my guy. Thomas was the funniest nigga, bro.
That was generation one shoot apartment for me. It was because
Yeah.
when I first got there, it was you, Tommy, Christina,
Thomas was
Thomas,
there for like a little bit,
yep, Guy and
and
Tyler, and I think
Kayla. Kayla
Kayla
was
wasn't
there.
there yet. Kayla wasn't there yet. Kayla was
You
after
sure?
me. Kayla was after me, remember? Because I was
Yeah, 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 yeah,
historical.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, she was after you. That was like around 2019. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So yeah.
and no, I was going to say Caitlyn. Caitlyn was already there. Caitlyn was already there.
Yep, Caitlyn. Yep. Yep. And
Shalea, I think.
Shalea, yep,
Yeah.
yep. Shout out to Shalea. If you hear this podcast, shout out to you too. And yeah, bro. Like she was always talking about Disney. But anyways. But yeah, man, like, yeah, that whole team, bro. Like it was ghetto as fuck, but it was lit. It was mad lit. Like we were like, it was like our second family. Like no funny, and like every single day it was just something. It was just something interesting. It was we talked to each other, and you know, I don't know what it was, but it was like Kayla was like the next energy in that store, considering the fact that she had niggas doing crazy shit, like Kamal walking in heels and shit, and She when she kicked you square in your ass
Forget it,
at the
yeah.
park.
Now that you're saying it like that, it wasn't a sitcom. Shoot Apartment was a damn anime, bro. Like, that shit, some of the scenes, because I can't even call it like memories or like, they were straight up movie scenes. What
For real?
happened in that store? Like, don't even
Yeah.
make no sense.
You know how many times we done got into it with customers at that fucking job?
Yep.
Like fights, full blown arguments, returns, and all that shit, and people being impatient, fucking up the store. Bro,
There was this
yeah,
one
it was.
time, I still have the video and the picture. I'll probably edit it in. Somebody brought a bunny into the store, and then we were feeding the bunny. And then this other time, this lady with a stroller was in a complete. There, it was right outside the store. I don't think you were there that day. And this is like
Nah.
late. This is late shoot apartment. It was when Rose was working there, and this
Mm-hmm.
lady with a stroller was like in a complete brawl with this other lady or
Mm.
something. And I don't know why they were fighting to this day, but I just remember everyone in the mall was like huddled right outside the shoot apartment. I'm just like, yo, is this really happening? Like, what?
It was a couple brawls out there. It was a what was it like a remember her mother a girl and her mother was fighting this one girl
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
talking about. She had a stroller.
that was her. Oh shit,
Yeah,
and
I
I was
think
there.
so. Oh,
And I was there. I just don't remember the bunny part.
the bunny wasn't
But
on the same day. That was a different day.
yeah, bro. It was fights almost every other day at that fucking mall, bro.
Different day.
Like niggas was getting their ass beat up at that mall. That's why we had curfew because of them niggas.
we had who had curfew?
Nigga, the mall. Like, remember how they used to say if you're not at least the age of 18 years or older, you gotta get the fuck out, like type of deal?
Oh, maybe.
You don't remember? Yo, listen, bro. It went from that to you had to be 19 to the you until they had that one big ass fight. Them niggas said, "Fuck it, you got to be 21 and with an or you have to be 18 with an adult any fucking way to be at this mall at a certain hour." I swear to God,
I
they
do remember. I do remember when the mall like got new hours, and then we started closing earlier, so we just got to leave. That was great.
no, yeah, that was cool, but that wasn't what caused that. No, niggas had curfew, like shoppers, like cuz teenagers like young, I want to say like 14, 15, 16-year olds are being that motherfucker damn near when the mall is about to close, and they still be walking around even after we close. And I'm like, what the fuck is they still doing here? So, but yeah, that's why we had that motherfucking curfew because it was so many fights at that mall. Like I said, that mall was just ghetto as fuck. And I remember you was there. Some woman had her fucking panties in the middle of the women's section, and they weren't new. And the reason I know they weren't new because they ain't have no tag on them,
Because
no nothing.
you're so used to
No,
observing them.
no.
You
Them bitches weren't new. And like I said, I don't know if they just slipped from under her and she was just drunk as fuck, but them shits was in the middle of the floor and Christina saw it too. I'm like, yo, who the fuck panties is sitting in the middle of this store like this? There's children around. Like,
I don't remember. I don't remember that, but I believe it
you
happened.
Brody, you was there. They were black. There was a pair of black panties sitting in the middle of the fucking store.
When? What era? What era of shoot apartment is this?
It was in the women's section, like towards the front near the displays.
No, I'm saying like what era? Like who was working there at the
Oh,
time?
Shit. This was. I want to say it was everybody. Like this was like the dream team. Like this was like 2019.
Got you.
2019. So
Got you.
so yeah, this was like the dream team. So we was all there, and Kayla was there. Tommy was there. It was me, you, Tommy, Kayla, Shalea, Caitlin, and Christina. It was seven of us that day, and somebody had their fucking panties just sitting right there in the middle because I was vacuuming that night, and I came across them shit, and I picked, the metal rod that we use to pull down the gate.
Yep.
That's what I used to pick the shit up with because that metal rod is like fucking 4 feet long. So I just picked it up with that and threw it in the garbage.
Damn.
And I was like, yo, this shit is wild. Like, I don't found, bruh, listen, that's another
Actually, I
story.
think I do remember that just because of that image of you throwing them out. I feel like I do remember that now. But the
Yeah.
one I remember vividly is the condom that we found on the shoebox.
Oh.
I do remember that.
Somebody was definitely trolling. Yeah, putting that condom in that shoebox.
Like only at shoot apartment, bro. It's just like I don't
Only
get
at
it.
shoe department, nigga, we found diapers. We found not no clean diaper at that. Nigga, we found diapers, shoes, socks, and shit, and all types of shit. I'm like, yo, the fucking trash can is right there. Like, we had trash cans all over this fucking store, and people be leaving all types of shit everywhere. Drinks. That was the biggest one. That's why we had to wipe the shelves down all the time because they leave their drinks. Them shits will be condensed as fuck. They be spilling them motherfuckers. We have to, bruh. It was a whole shit show at shoe department when it came to people leaving they shit. And we used to get robbed like a motherfucker too. So, but yeah, bro. All types of shit happened at that fucking mall. Specifically that store. Because every other store had no issues.
Well, I mean,
But
we don't know. Maybe the other stores, had some
they
of the
probably
same
had a
weird
little
energy.
something here and there, but 9 times out of 10, the stores were so fucking small, you won't find anything. Like I said, so like I said, who knows? But shoe department, because it was a very accessible store and that you could literally. So nah, so this is what happened. It ain't the fact they were fucking up the store because everybody fucks up that
Oh,
store.
okay. Never mind. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't the fact that they were fucking up the store. Everybody fucks up the store. Like it's shoe department. Everybody does it. But the thing that was baffling to me is that you know how shoe department used to sell those little toys for the kids, like up next to the candy and all that.
Yeah.
So the little girl, she grabs one of the toys, and I'm thinking, they looking at all like these females, they looking at all types of fucking shoes.
Hmm.
And so she goes and she doesn't buy shit. So they leave, and a little girl. So like I said, she sees the little girl, her daughter, walking out the goddamn store with the stuff. So I had to leave the register. And I'm like, hey, what, like, hey, that, like, you're bringing, like, hey, you taking the merchandise. What you doing? You got to pay for it. Like, and I wasn't talking to the little girl. I was talking to the mother.
Right.
And she was like, is it really that serious? I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
It has a, I'm like, it has a fucking price tag on it. Of course it's that serious. And she copped the attitude with me. And like she dead ass like kept trying to walk off. I'm like, listen, like if either you come and you pay for this or give it to me or I'm gonna take it. So she walks back in the store because her daughter, I guess, really wanted the toy. She walks back in the store. She gives me a whole fucking attitude. Mind you, I'm not paying no attention. I just went beep, gave her her shit, gave her a change, and she left. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
I
So
wish,
this
I
is how
wish, I wish, I wish it was that easy to use your own child as an excuse for stealing something. I would walk right into Burberry. I would tell my little brother, "Look, you see that jacket and them shoes? Yo, grab that. We out." And someone asked me, sir, what do you? Is it really that serious? This is like
shit.
what?
They're like, yes, they're fucking serious. Now either you give it back or we gonna call security. So
Security.
it's security. Like I said, man, like I said, people is just that fucking ignorant. What's crazy is that it happens every day. Parents is actually out here teaching their kids how to fucking steal. But in this scenario, ooh, excuse me, in this scenario, the girl wasn't stealing intentionally. She's a little girl. She's like 3 years old.
Mm.
And the mother is sitting up here practically condoning the shit. because and thinking making it basically not setting an example whatsoever, basically making it seem like, oh, it's not a big deal. Now, mind you, if she keeps doing that shit, she's gonna start stealing shit as she gets older. So I'm talking about the little girl. As the little girl gets older, she's gonna think it's okay to take shit. And this goes back to where we had a conversation. I think this is well after shoot apartment about how parents are actually the primary role model for their children.
Well,
And
yeah, yeah,
you know,
typically, but
y- yeah,
it
yeah,
it like you were saying, unfortunately, sometimes I think it was interesting because I forgot who I was talking about this with, but it was probably you at some point too. But parenting,
mhm,
I feel like has really taken a quite drastic turn, and it affects the overall movement of younger
mhm,
people in society, and eventually it also affect their spawn and so on. Is how it works. But even in terms of like independency, right? Being
mhm,
being 20 now is not like how being 20 was when our parents were our age, because like
mhm,
being 20 then, you had your own place at 20, you were already paying bills, you were already doing stuff. But now it's a lot more common and normal for kids to be living with their parents until they're like good 22, 23, and have time to get
mhm.
established. Whereas before it was kind of like, I don't
Yeah,
know, it felt like it feels like development is kind of being slower paced,
mhm.
for better or for worse. But then I see how some of the younger kids, because parents are a bit more softer now for whatever reason, why that's happening, I don't know why.
Mhm.
Kids grow up thinking that they can kind of act any sort of way, and it's
I feel like
uh,
I don't know what it is, but it's like in today's society, parents nowadays depend on the media to raise their kids. Because that's all they're
facts.
surrounded by, and it's really fucked up because when you raise your kids like that, they become fucking couch potatoes in the future because they don't want to do shit. You do everything for them. Everything that the kid has to figure out, you make it easy for them, and that's technically setting up your kids for failure because like how are they supposed to learn how to do shit if you keep doing everything for them? And that's why these kids is out of fucking control because number one, they don't get the proper discipline from their parents. Number two, they don't have both of their parents. And number three, there's parents out here that shouldn't be parents. So
Do you think that there's a right and wrong way to 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 parenting, or do you think there? Because me personally, I feel like parenting is one of those things. It's really not abstract. I think generally there are certain goals that any good parent would hope to achieve. That their kid is, that their kid is wise, that their kid moves with intent and purpose. But
mm-hmm.
with how many distractions there are nowadays, and like you were saying, there's so many influences outside of their parents, people's parents, that they have no control over how much intake they're having of that,
Right.
to influence their actions. It almost makes you wonder, because there are some helicopter parents that monitor everything their kids doing and make sure they're going A, B, and B and having this much time on this much time. But that's also seen as crazy parenting. So
Right,
where's
right.
the balance?
There is balance. It's just so this is the thing about being a parent. So as far as being a parent, your kids are not going to be perfect. That's number one. The thing is, like, if you're a parent, the number one priority is making sure that they have common sense, is that you're teaching them that. Because every like it's not fucking rocket science to teach a kid the difference between right and wrong. Like honestly, you don't need a book to tell you how to raise your kid. To be honest, all you have to do is really balance everything out as far as like number one, security, or like you should never overwhelm your child, with so much strictness and so many rules and regulations. Otherwise it'll just it'll lead to them being very sneaky. Like I said, I know a lot of parents that have been like that towards their kids, and their kids are absolutely fucking terrible because they were like that. Even though like their intentions is to make sure that their kids are protected, but at the same time, you can't protect your kids from every single thing. So, with that being said, just keep teach your kids how to actually have common sense. Common sense plays a huge role in your life because if, say, for example, if you have more books, because there's parents that are like very strict about education. If your kids are more book smart than they are street smart, they're going to be very naive to a lot of things. They're going to be vulnerable as well.
Yep. Yep.
And like I said, they'll be prone to a lot of danger in this world. So, like I said, you
I
just,
feel like regardless
mhm.
of how you come up, you're prone to it. But I think for them, well, okay, now I get what you mean. You mean like they're more
Yeah.
susceptible to it. They're more susceptible
Y-
to it.
Yeah, like I said, it allows you to be more naive and gullible
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
don't teach kids common sense. Like everything, because the way they think is going to be based on a book or statistics, or which is nothing wrong with that. But you got to think about reality and how things typically work with a crowd of people or
yep.
in this world in general. And when you don't have that knowledge, like I said, you're prone to getting beat the fuck up. You're prone to getting robbed, killed, anything. So that's why it's always good to balance that out as far as having street smarts and book smarts. So as far as parenting, all it takes is you just setting an example. Because, like I said, everything your child sees, they're going to see it from you first because you're with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said that parents today really depend on media to teach their kid. Well, not really teach them, but like the media is what's really raising these kids today because their parents, we're in a society today where both men and women are working hard, you know, like I said, so they don't really have nobody that they're around like that can teach them things. People don't really know how to be a family anymore. So that's another thing. People don't know how to be a family. Like, if you got a brother or a sister, 9 times out of 10, big bro or big sis in the fucking living room talking to her nigga or whatever the fuck going on, or you know what I'm saying? So
Nah, that's
like,
real. That's real. That's real.
right. So growing up, like, cause I got hella siblings. Like growing up, if I'm around my siblings and my mom or my stepdad or my mom and dad, whatever, if I'm around them, I teach my sisters, some things. We have conversations just like you and I. I talk to my brother, my baby bro, like I said, who is shout out to my little bro, of course. He is he is an absolute old man, but he has the brain of Dexter from Dexter's Lab. He is smart, and like I said, he's just a very old soul. He's only 12 years old. And like I said, being around my siblings and actually teaching them things is like basically being another parent. You're not
Mm-hmm.
raising them, but you're teaching them things that you learned from your parents.
Yep.
And and that allows them to, have somebody else they can talk to. Like, instead of always talking to mom and dad, you got your brother, you got your sister, you got your aunt, your uncle, your cousin. And that's why I feel like, unity comes into play. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so as far as raising a child in general, you just gotta know how to really actually spend time with your kids and actually teach them the right things instead of the wrong things. Like things that actually fucking matter, like education, your health, your history, and shit, especially your history.
I feel
Um,
like history is
yeah,
a key thing that a lot of people miss out on.
right. They don't get enough
That's
of.
not at all. It's not even, especially if you're of our ethnicity, right? The
Mm-hmm.
the the quote unquote history that they teach you isn't even correct, or it's like they only teach you what they want us to know. You have
Right.
to go out of your way to actually look and be fully aware, cognizant of of everything past and everything up to now. And
Mm-hmm.
it was something interesting that stuck out. You said unity, because I've noticed that honestly for the past like 3 to a good few years. I just
Mm-hmm.
been thinking about it, like when I was younger and it was just me, my dad, and my stepmom
Mm-hmm.
at the house. We'd all sit down and eat together at the dinner table. And I would have SpongeBob playing on the TV or something, and we watch or I watch SpongeBob, or we watch SpongeBob, something like that. But like we're all there. We were all in the presence of one
Bonding.
another. Yeah, we to some extent like we were there, and it was
Yeah.
a bit different from my like I come from two different households, so it's kind of two different environments. But for my mom, it was like she was out or working all the time, which I got. So I would
Right.
eat by myself, or like when she was there, we would still eat together. So, but as the years went on, and you start seeing technology integrate itself into our day to day lives, it's
Mm-hmm.
like that type of genuineness, that genuine, not even affection, but almost just like that that aesthetic, that idea of familial bonding or
Mm-hmm.
just basic stuff, it just kind of went away entirely. Like that never happens anymore. And a part of
Yeah.
that is because of technology, and another part of that is just because I don't I don't know. It's really weird.
It's weird because like I said, man, you gotta like you got people today that they're so wired to their phones or to their tablets or whatever they're using that it's getting to the point where people are getting but starting to become illiterate. So like
Why,
it's to
why'd you say
like
it like that?
because it's really sad. It's fucking sad. But not just like, alliteration. It's just like we don't know how to socialize. That's why I was saying earlier, like technology really makes people fucking socially awkward. That's why I was so happy with what you're doing, because this allows people to teach themselves how to actually interact with other human beings.
Oh
Instead of because we
yeah,
talk to, if you really think about it, we talk to people over technology more than we talk to people,
face to
in
face.
person. You
Yes,
know what I'm saying?
yes,
So,
yeah.
so like I said, so when it all falls down to children, and everything that they're exposed to, there's definitely rights and wrongs as far as parenting. Like I said, it's just all about finding that balance, all about allowing all about teaching your children. And to be honest, I feel like, because I don't know if you heard, but our governor down here in Florida is trying to take Black history out of the schools.
I have seen that. Yes.
Yes, but see, I wasn't mad at that, because you know why? Because the curriculum down here is so fucking horrible that I don't want nobody teaching, my kids, or anybody, your kids or anybody in Florida. I don't want nobody teaching them the wrong shit, because then when they grow up thinking that, oh, this is actually history, then they'll be completely fucking misled. So the be
But I
mhm.
guess so. You would prefer no history at all in comparison to
No, because see, there's no such thing as no history if everything you see around us is history. Because, for example,
true.
like I said, by the way, we're Black, whoever's watching this.
I'm a probably have a picture of us on the thumbnail, so they gonna see. They already know.
So, but anyways, like I said, a lot of things about that, like we see every day, it was made by, our people. And, not just that, but as far as history itself, I feel like it's upon us to teach our people our own history, our history. We don't need somebody else to tell us about our history. And if you don't know about our history, then you can learn it. People need to take time to read. Like I said, find reliable sources that can actually teach you about Pan-Africanism, or any culture that you could be, related to or a part of, and actually learn about it. Actually, like, don't be listening to fucking Google. Get you some reliable sources and actually, you know, teach yourself about this thing. So therefore, you can teach your or learn with your children. I'll listen. I'll have like for example, hypothetically, like if I have a son, I'll have him on my like if I well I already know my shit, but anyways, I'll have him sitting right next to me learning about more history, more like history we never even heard about that traces back for eon. I will learn together, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed. You see how parents, they go to college with their kids. It's the same shit. Just do it at home. Take it upon yourself to learn the important things. When you ain't doing shit, read. When you or learn somehow. So like I said,
I've
it
been,
really doesn't,
yeah,
yeah, it really
yeah.
doesn't take, my bad. It really doesn't take somebody else to teach us our fucking history. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't take somebody else to teach you anything, and
Honestly.
that's one thing over the. It's one thing to just let the pieces fall into place, right? Like you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, you take what they're feeding you and you just accept it to be true. But it's another thing to go, hmm, is that really the case though? It's another thing to ask questions. It's another thing to find the answers to those questions that you're asking and then
Mm-hmm.
proceed to find out more about yourself than you knew prior. That that to me is one of the most rewarding experiences about life is when you stay true to yourself
Mm-hmm.
and you're rewarded for it. And
Right.
that's something I feel like a lot of people need to hear, real talk.
Honestly, like I said, and I feel like in today's society, people are so worried about doing what everybody else is fucking doing and trying to follow trends and all this shit, and as soon as that trend die out, people are on to the next. Like, I never understood that. Like, what makes you think that you have to do what somebody else is doing? That goes to show that you're not a fucking leader. You know what I'm saying? You're technically a follower because what you're doing basically is, you're just trying to keep up with everybody else is doing because it's benefiting them somehow, of course, because nobody's going to do some shit for free or that's not going to benefit them. But as far as like taking it upon yourself to apply, you know, what you really want to do, and it all falls back to your parents, because what were your parents doing while they were raising you? You know, like what did you see? Because like nine out of like if you really think about it, like if you really think deep into this, everybody that's following trends and you know it's like you can tell like they didn't really have role models in their life, and that all falls back to kids being exposed to everything, like how everybody wants to be a YouTuber, everybody wants to be a rapper, everybody wants to be an influencer. Nobody knew what the fucking influencer was about 10 years ago. Everybody wants to do what everybody else is doing. How many people you hear saying, "Oh, I'm going to be a scientist, or I'm going to be an attorney, or I'm going to be a voice actor, or I'm going to be an actor, or I'm going to be a pharmacist." Something that's actually going to benefit your future
I ain't never
versus
heard anyone say they want to be a pharmacist. Nigga, that's
now
like
some yeah, so nah,
it's out there.
it's different. Like, don't get me wrong, shout out to all the pharmacists because we need y'all niggas, but well, technically we don't. But anyways, but but yeah, there's people out there that actually have something that's going to benefit them in the future, but it's a small percentage of those people. Every like I want to say a good 80% of people want to do what everybody else is doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a TikToker. Go into acting. Be an actor if you want to like do shit like that. Like for real. Like do
Yeah,
do something that's actually gonna.
I think that's the key, right? Even if you want to do something in that field, don't
Mm-hmm.
stop at the idea of whatever it is that you're interested in.
Right.
If you're interested in music, like for me, I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I know I love creating. I don't even care what type of content it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
music, it's artwork, it's videos, it's
Yeah.
podcasts, it's
Yeah.
it's events, it's cooking, whatever it is. I love creating. So me, I could just say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I like making music and let that leave that be. But I'm like, no, I love making music. So how can I
Mm-hmm.
expand on that? How can I combine everything that makes me who I am and then take that to the next level? Which is why
Right.
now I'm like seriously thinking about um well, I'm not going, I'm not going to say that. Like they said, real G's move in silence, but let's just say, I'm thinking about
that's that's facts.
a actual
That's
business
facts.
after.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. But see, like, and that's why. we were able, like, I don't know if that's how the chemistry really hit between us, because like as we talked to each other and got to know each other, you know, we like everything that we talked about, 99%, 99.9% we agree upon. Because number one, like I said, it's just like the things that we have in common. On top of that, number two, it's like where our head is at. And like I said, we have the same, point of view when it comes to society or when it comes to anything. So as far as like, going back to talking about how what people want to do, it's like for example, like what you just said like they're just based on that idea, that one thing. That's what an idea is, something that's potential, but instead of actually doing multiple things, it's just like playing an instrument. You can't just learn one instrument, you gotta do multiple instruments. You know what I'm saying? So, going back, to that, it's like when we talk about people and how like the media can be so manipulating at times, that just tells you like, yo, they didn't really have nobody to tell them this shit.
Yeah,
Nobody told them like, oh, there's potentially something could potentially, cause this not to be as successful as you think. So therefore, have a backup plan or
yeah.
expand your horizons. So
And it's funny because I've been telling that people for
mhm,
years, like, if this isn't working for you, then look in a different, look
mhm,
underneath the table. Even if you're looking in the same direction, look underneath the table, look and see what's out the window, because there's always just something else that you're not aware of, but you have to actually put yourself out there in order to see it.
yeah,
And it took me a while to realize that. But once I did, everything steadily, not swiftly, not like OxyClean commercials, but eventually it will get there. You'll get there.
like I said, everything you got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people fail to realize. That's why I hate this narrative that people got to have a bag at the age of fucking 21, when in reality, like it really takes people a long time. In some cases, some people are more fortunate than others, but in reality, it takes people damn near into their late 30s to mid 40s, sometimes even a little older, to really get where they want to be, because that shit comes with work. And I was just I was just talking to one of my coworkers about this, like about a few weeks back. Like we don't have to like we just gotta stop letting the media manipulate us into thinking we gotta have all this fucking riches at a very, very, very early age, when it's really not that possible. If you really think about it,
It
you
is it
know.
is possible, but like it's just not practical, and it's also not realistic because
Yeah,
people
it's definitely possible. Yeah, but
yeah,
it's like you said, it's not realistic.
it's not
Yeah.
at all. Like when you see little kids, on YouTube getting millions of views playing with toys and shit, and now you got all these parents trying to use their kids for money as money bags. It's dark
Hmm.
because it's almost like people are trying to take everything good in their lives and trying to manipulate it or twist it to a certain way that they can profit off of it. And it's like, instead of just genuinely working to where you want to be, like what you were saying, they try and
Hmm.
find these shortcuts, but
Hmm.
that ends up coming with its own consequences. But you said something a second ago about talking to your coworker, and that
Hmm.
yeah, about the idea of progression, right? And
Hmm.
I think that brings me to the last thing I wanted to say for this episode, because we are hitting that hour and 15.
Definitely.
I had a conversation with this dude in the business building at my school,
Hmm.
and he's a, I forgot what major he was, maybe accounting or something.
Hmm.
But we were just talking about, I was just literally introduced myself, and we had a normal conversation. But he started going out. He asked me, what's your plan in life? And I'm sitting here, and me personally, I can't stand when people ask me this question, because I'm like, I'm just worried about what I'm trying to eat for dinner tonight. Like, I'm not thinking 12 years ahead, right? Now this dude in
Mm-hmm.
particular was, I guess, he had it all figured out. He's like, I want to be blah 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 firm for this thing. I'm about to own this business, this business. I'm selling out this house for all these kids. I'm making this amount of money, but and he keeps on telling me all this he's got going on. I'm like, that's cool, that's cool. And then he's like, so what's your plan? And I'm like, well, I don't have a plan right now, but I have an idea of where I want to be. I have a foundation for that plan, which is why I'm in school right now to build that foundation up further. And I said, mainly, I'm thinking about this one particular business that I'm thinking about venturing into. And I said, I want it to be homey. I want it to be authentic. I want it to be a reflection of myself. And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, I'm not shooting down your idea or anything, but like, why have you thought about doing something? What is it? A franchise, right? A franchise. He was like, why are you choosing this route of business instead of a franchise? And I was like, well, I know with a franchise you'd make more money, but with a franchise you can't personally attend to everything. It's worldwide, it's there's only so much you can do. And in addition to that, anyways, point of the story is me and this dude that were talking in this conversation, we had completely two separate thought processes. His
Mm-hmm.
everything, every way he moved, he was a hustler at heart. Every way he moved, it was for money. If it doesn't have a check, he's not doing it. Whereas for
Mm-hmm.
me, I've always been the exact opposite. I'm like, I just want to do what I love doing. And I could go broke doing it, which is why, I used to be an art major. I was like, I don't care if I don't get paid jack. I'm doing what I love to do. That's just always how I've been. So it's really interesting to have had that conversation because I feel like right after it, I was kind of like in my thoughts. I'm like, maybe I am not where I think I should be in terms of
Mm-hmm.
in terms of you know long term or progressing or whatever. But it was another one of those moments where I had to realize you can't compare yourself to other people and how they're moving or what they're doing for their lives because everyone has different goals and everyone has different intentions with those goals. So we all gotta go our own way, um,
Yeah,
even if it's towards the same direction. You gotta just once again you gotta stay true to yourself. So
definitely. And like I said, that's how you gain, more respect that way. Just to add in a little something. Um, Everybody has a drive. Something drives them to do something, but it's all about what your drive leads you to because you can do what you love doing, and that's the healthiest thing you can do. But at the same time, if you know what's going to get you there and it's going to benefit you, then by all means keep doing what you're doing. But and like you said, you're right. Realistically, if a franchise, you can't attend to everything. If you want to be a CEO or a boss, by all means, I encourage you. And to all the people that's doing that, do your thing. Like I said, don't let nobody stop you, and don't get caught up. But yeah, like I said, as far as and for the people that's doing what you love to do, it ain't shit wrong with that. Because like I said, because there's people out here doing what they love to do, making millions, even fucking billions.
yep,
So it goes both ways. As long as that road leading to the same destination, which is something positive and something that's going, but potentially become a legacy, then it don't matter which lane you take. It's all gonna lead to that same destination at the end of the day. So real shit. So, like I said, and I highly encourage you, to keep doing what you're doing, Jaylen, because, like I said, I know, what you doing in science is going to get you somewhere so far, and you know, what I'm doing right now will get me there as well. And next thing you know, we'll be on a yacht, probably having one of those shoot apartment moments, just ghetto as fuck. So,
and it's crazy
bruh.
too because a year ago when you used to I used to tell you like you say we're going to be here at this time and I
Hmm.
believe you when you say it because you speak it so vividly. It's like you're literally creating the scene as you're
Hmm.
breathing it. And a year ago, like earlier a year ago, I would like hear what you're saying and I believe it, but in my heart, I didn't have the confidence to go to say back and be like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But like now, now, I'm like, what? I couldn't see it before because of my own self doubts and everything else. But like now, it's just like I'm on the way with you, bro. I'm on the wave right with you.
Definitely. And like I said, then it ain't got to do with you saying it. It's what you feel in your heart at the same time.
It's what you
You know what I'm
feel.
saying? It's what you feel. And like I said, and it's all real because like I said, I know what's gonna happen because I'm the type of nigga to make it happen. So
There you. That's like that line
so
is so tough. I know it's gonna happen because I'm the type of nigga that'll make that shit happen. That is tough. That is tough.
definitely. But yeah, but hey, to all the viewers watching this, y'all may not be watching this now, but when it gets posted, thank you so much for the support. Like I said, we sorry we gotta cut it short. Till we can't have our podcast too long because we're literally talking to the next fucking day because we have so
Me
much to
and
talk
me and
about.
Parish be talking. Yeah, next episode we'll probably get into the sex alien talk. That's crazy. I'm
Ah,
surprised.
yeah.
This is probably the first time we had a conversation and we didn't talk about sex alien stuff. So this is a rarity. It's a rarity.
Yeah. And for y'all though, listen, we gonna give y'all a little preview if Jalen don't already, if he don't cut this out. But the sex alien basically is that Jalen looks at me as if I'm from another planet. Like apparently I have all this so much fucking riz, even though I don't do anything, to the point where my quote unquote antennas, which is my two braids that sit in the front of my face, attracts females. So we'll get into that. Like I said, don't piss your pants just yet. We'll get into that soon. So definitely. So let's just so we'll see y'all in a bit. Should have been Ken. We definitely should have been Ken.
we
Cause like I
we
said,
definitely should have been Ken.
definitely. But hey, like we family regardless. At the end of the day, blood don't have to make us family. So yes, we should have been kin to each other by blood, but we still fam at the end of the day. So there we go. So yep, I'm outie. Like I said, Jalen, you take it easy, Brody. And like I said, I can't wait to see this on YouTube. And I'm definitely be watching this shit. So hey, shoot me the link. Shoot me the link so I can share it with people's any as well.
Best
Like I said,
believe.
have the whole world watching this. All right.
All right, bro.
All right. See you in a bit, fam.
Peace.